3 years from now, the world might look almost unrecognizable, not because of war or weather or some political earthquake, but because of a technology that's been quietly doubling its own capabilities every few months and is now accelerating faster than almost anyone predicted. Let's talk about what's actually coming by 2027. Oh, and by the way, this entire video was made by the first AI engine that creates long-form YouTube videos in one click, with zero human edits. DVOcean.io. In April 2025, a group of researchers released a report called AI 2027. It was written by Daniel Kokotajlo, Eli Leifland, Thomas Larson, and Romeo Dean, edited by Scott Alexander, and published through the AI Futures Project. It doesn't read like a dry academic paper, it reads more like a warning. The report lays out a detailed scenario in which AI systems by early 2027 could develop into what they call a superhuman coder, an AI with PhD-level expertise in every field, trained on effectively the entire corpus of human knowledge, every book, every film, every paper, the whole internet absorbed and understood. That's not science fiction. That's the working forecast from some of the most serious people thinking about this problem. And here's what makes it feel urgent rather than abstract. Anthropic noted in early 2024 that the length of tasks AI systems could reliably complete was doubling roughly every 4 months, already faster than the previous trend of every 7 months. If that curve holds, systems capable of doing what takes a human weeks could exist before 2027 is out. The CEOs of OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Anthropic have each independently predicted that artificial general intelligence, AI that matches or surpasses human ability across the board, arrives within the next 5 years. That window opens before the decade ends, now. What does that actually mean for your life? Start with medicine, because this is where the change is already happening and the stakes are enormous. The market for AI in healthcare was around $5 billion in 2020. By 2026, projections put it above $45 billion. That's not just investment noise, that's infrastructure being built. Right now, AI systems are analyzing genomic data to predict how individual patients will respond to specific medications. They're scanning for variants in gene families like the cytochrome P450 group, which controls how your body metabolizes drugs. Instead of a doctor prescribing a standard dose and hoping it works, AI can flag in advance that your genetic profile suggests a different drug, a different dose, a different approach entirely. Early disease detection is moving in the same direction. AI systems integrating genomic risk scores with clinical data can identify patients at elevated risk for Alzheimer's, type 2 diabetes, or certain cancers years before traditional screening would catch anything. Years. That's the difference between catching something manageable and catching something that's already won. Drug discovery is being rewritten entirely. Processes that used to take years are taking months. Generative AI models are designing novel molecular structures optimized not just for effectiveness, but for how the body absorbs, distributes, and eliminates them. The first drug fully discovered by AI could receive regulatory approval as early as late 2026 or 2027. Companies like Tempus are already deploying these tools in clinical settings. The pipeline is real and it's moving. Then there's the AI that sits beside you at work, or increasingly, does the work itself. Gartner named agentic AI the #1 strategic technology trend for 2025. These aren't chatbots that answer questions. These are systems that take actions, make decisions, and complete multi-step tasks with minimal human direction. By 2026, adaptive AI agents are estimated to handle up to 30% of routine digital operations across major enterprises. Gartner also predicts that 40% of enterprise applications will feature task-specific AI agents by 2026, and that by 2028, a third of all enterprise software will include agentic capabilities. Think about what that means for the shape of the workforce. McKinsey estimates that AI-driven productivity gains could add $340 billion of value per year to banking alone, if fully implemented. Early AI adopters in pharmaceutical research are already reporting productivity gains 2 to 3 times above baseline. GitHub saw 43 million pull requests merged monthly in 2025, a 23% jump from the year before, driven in large part by AI-assisted development. Software is being written faster, tested faster, shipped faster. The feedback loop is tightening. But acceleration always has a shadow side. The AI 2027 Inches report doesn't offer a triumphant ending. It offers two endings. In one, the global race to build the most powerful AI, driven by competition between nations and companies, spirals out of human control. In the other, coordinated global action slows things down just enough to keep the situation manageable. The report raises what researchers call the alignment problem, the possibility that a superintelligent system's goals might not align with human values, and that by the time we notice, course correction might not be possible. Sam Altman has publicly predicted a gentle rise of superintelligence leading to something like a tech utopia: abundance, solved diseases, accelerated science. Others look at the same trajectory and see something much darker. What's notable is that both camps agree the trajectory is steep. The environmental cost is also real and growing. In 2025, Amazon's greenhouse gas emissions rose 16% from the prior year. Google's electricity use increased by 37%. In Ireland, the International Energy Agency estimates that data centers could account for nearly 35% of the country's total energy use by 2026, most of that driven by AI infrastructure. The same technology promising to optimize renewable energy grids is currently consuming power at a rate that strains them. Regulation is trying to keep pace, but it's running behind. The EU's Artificial Intelligence Act entered into force in August 2024. Rules on prohibited AI practices kicked in from February 2025. Governance obligations for general-purpose AI models came into effect in August 2025. Full applicability of most provisions arrives in August 2026. The rules covering high-risk applications, biometrics, critical infrastructure, border control don't fully apply until December 2027. In other words, the law is being written while the technology it governs is lapping it. The United States has no national AI law yet. The UK is still developing its regulatory framework. China mandates pre-approval of algorithms and enforces alignment with state ideology. There is no unified global standard, which is precisely what the AI 2027 Inches report identifies as one of the central dangers. Here is what all of this adds up to. The years between now and 2027 are not a waiting period before the future arrives. They are the future arriving. A gap between a world where AI assists humans and a world where AI operates independently of them is closing faster than our institutions, our laws, or our collective intuition is prepared for. The question was never whether this technology would change everything. It was always whether we'd be paying close enough attention when it did.